Hey everyone, it's Anna from PNW Blanks and Sublimation coming at you finally with some new content. I have been waiting for these since August and it is now November. So they have finally came. These are a restock of 18-ounce water bottles and also 32-ounce water bottles. Still no word on the other two sizes. Hopefully they're released from port soon. Who knows? I have a lot of stuff waiting in the port right now, so we will see when they finally get here. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about with these water bottles, so I have, they're just a stainless steel bottle for sublimation, and they have straw lids that twist on. That's for the other one. So the lid pops on there and twists on, and then it has a nice pop top here with the straw. So if you go like this, it actually doesn't, it's leak proof, so it doesn't even leak water or anything. Obviously it's empty right now because I'm about to press it. So it's completely leak proof. You actually have to suck on it just as if you were sucking on a soda straw from the gas station. So we have these in 18-ounce and 32-ounce. And these will be up on the site. I'm testing them today, so I'm showing you guys the test. We test all of our products when a new batch of items comes in, making sure that the quality is good. So I'm going to test this and the 32-ounce and then post them up this weekend. So I have my press already set up. We're going to try it at 365 for 35 seconds, and we're trying something a little bit different here. So we're testing not just the tumbler, but I'm going to test something else with my temperature. So if you can see over here, and you can see I actually just put that bottle in, and you see how the temperature is dropping. So when you introduce a room temperature item into a very hot item, the temperature is going to drop. So both of the items can reach the same temperature and come back up to that temperature together. But what I'm doing is I have it set to 365, and normally I would do 5 seconds higher. I want to try something. If I just have it 1 second, or sorry, degrees, usually have it at 365, and then that would put my other one at 370. I'm going to try it just 1 degree off and see what happens. This is a test. So this is not a tutorial of how to use your press. This is me testing it out. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to do 35 seconds for the 18-ounce. I usually do my 20-ounce tumblers around between 30 and 40 seconds. I'm going to try this one at 30 seconds. 35 seconds. Sorry, I'm tired. Been working all day trying to get these out and tested for you so I can get them up. We're going to do this guy. We're going to try him at 40 to 45 seconds. We're going to see how this one works at 35 seconds first. If that works, then we'll go ahead and do this probably about 45 seconds. The larger the surface area of your tumbler, the higher you want your time to be. So you don't mess with your temperature or anything like that, but if you have a larger tumbler, like this big 32-ounce guy, you want to cook them for a little bit longer. That's because there's more surface area for the sublimation to cover. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I already set the pressure, and see if you can see here. I'm going to scoot you in a little bit closer. So you can see right here with the attachment how it just kind of contours to the shape of that cup. That's where you want your pressure to be. You don't want it to be super high, and you don't want it to be low that it doesn't actually contour. You want that contour to happen. I get asked a lot about where should my pressure be. And it also should be really simple and easy to close. So when I open it and close it, I can do it one-handed. I'm not putting a whole lot of body oomph in it or anything like that. So set you back down here. And my counter, it's already up to the 366 because I was chit-chatting And now my counter is down and we have 17 seconds to go. Let me go ahead and find my heat glove. It's been a little while since I've done a tumbler. Out of practice. All right, less than 5 seconds to go. We'll go ahead, open this up. We're going to take it out. I had my seam facing up. Now I'm going to, so you can't see that. But if you could see it, you're going to see, how can I, okay. So I had it facing up. I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees so it's facing down. Normally I wouldn't take it all the way out. Normally I would just bring it out and then stick it back in. But I did that, and then we are good to go to press it for another 35 seconds and we'll see how it turns out. So I'll be back. All right, just a couple seconds left. It's gonna go ahead and beep, and we're gonna take that out and see how we did. So this design is by Melissa Miller, and I thought it would be a cute design for a smaller water bottle, for a nice 18 ounce, maybe for a teenager or an older kid, something like that. So first we're going to go ahead and do our PNW peak. I'm trying to do this with barely any nails, and that looks great. Looks really good. I could have gone down a little bit more with my design. I was wrapping it super quickly so I could do this video tutorial for all of you. So I could have gone a little bit down a little bit further with that. And then, ouch. Normally I would have other gloves on. There we go. So that looks good too. So let's go ahead and unwrap our tumbler, our water bottle, and see how it turned out. So it says, dream without fear, love without limits, and has a little dream catcher here. It's a really cute, sparkly design. Would look great, or would work great for, like I said, like an older girl, like a tween or a teenager, or heck, I might just put water in it and leave it at my desk at work. Don't touch that. Just trying to show you guys a little bit closer here, but it's hot, so you can see it prints really nicely. Really great and pretty design by Melissa Miller. I will link her Etsy shop in the description below. So that's that. One thing also that I do is I do stop it like a little bit before the curve, or as you will see with the 32 ounce water bottle, I actually do kind of like a grungy design, or the bleach effects is what people are calling it up top. So it's not a complete straight line at the top, so it's not that harsh line, but that still looks really good. I'm proud of how that looks. And then once we have the top on it, I don't know what I did with the top. Here it is. Nope, that's the top for the other one. So once we have the top on it, then this is how it looks. And you probably could have lined that up a little bit better when I was doing my taping, because now my top is like right there. But that actually makes the straw part, you know, with the wording. So that actually works. But normally I would probably do the seam over here and then have like the full design on that side. But that's okay. Like I said, we are testing and seeing how it all works. So 35 seconds did work with the design, but my paper did, I don't know if you heard, but my paper did kind of crunch a little bit when I took that off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to up this to 40 seconds and see what happens with the, I'm not going to do anything to my temperature, just my time. We want to increase the time for the larger surface area. I also have to change my pressure. I need to adjust that so that'll actually fit in there. So we'll be back. Okay, and we're back, and the machine is all loosened up, and you can see that I have barely, it's not all the way, but it's pretty darn close to be able to fit this 32-ounce water bottle. So if you have anything, I get asked this all the time, what kind of drinkware can the press, can you press using the PNW Sublimation Press? And the answer is there's actually 20 different kinds, more than 20 probably, if I'm, because I'm probably not counting every single type of cup there is out there, but 20 that I know of off the top of my head that can work in the PNW Sublimation Press. The 32-ounce water bottle is one of them. I wouldn't probably go much wider than a 32-ounce water bottle, which I can, while this is cooking, I can go ahead and, actually I'm going to go ahead and close this because we're actually up to our temperature here. So it can start its countdown. But what I'll do is I'll measure the circumference of these 32-ounce water bottles, so you probably don't want to go much larger than that. The only thing else that I can think of that is that wide around is our 22-ounce wide tumblers. People call them fatty tumblers, but Facebook has actually flagged the word fatty as an insult, I guess. I'm not really sure, but it'll get you thrown in Facebook jail, so you don't want to do that. All right, we're going to go ahead and rotate this around, and this is actually a two-handed process because you can see the press kind of just wants to close on its own. That'll happen especially when your press is new. You want to kind of, you have to think about it as new shoes. You have to break it in a little bit. So once you get it broken in, or you can remove it and kind of flatten it down. Do I have it? I don't have an attachment here that I can kind of show you, but just kind of push the edges flat a little bit to break it in a little bit. Don't go all the way flat because then you'll ruin your attachment, but just to get a little bit more, loosen it up a little, so then it doesn't it doesn't want to close automatically when you have it loosened up. So I was comparing this, and I'll do it afterward. I'll compare the circumference of this tumbler, which is the 22-ounce wide tumbler, to the 32-ounce water bottle and see how they compare. That way you know how much wider you can go with your press, because we are really close. You can see we're pretty, maybe you can see, we're pretty darn close to the edge of the end of our bolt there. We're loosened almost all the way up. Sorry, making me dizzy. All right, so we have about 30 seconds to go, and we'll be back. All right, so I did go ahead while that was cooking and grab my tape measure. So we will pull this out, and what I'm going to do, because see what I mean by it's just wanting to kind of close on its own? Well, we don't want it to keep counting down and beeping and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. And like I said, the way to combat that is to loosen up your attachment a little bit. And you want to do that while it's cool. See, I just did a couple turns of each knob there, and now it'll stay open, so we're good to go. You want to make sure that it's nice and cool, and when you don't want to have it super hot when you're trying to push gently down on the sides of it as it's detached. Okay, so with that being said, let's check out how we did with our 32-ounce water bottle. So we're going to go ahead and do our peak, and that looks good. Even the seam looks good. And I don't know why I did that. I always do that. Do our peak on top. Ouch. And that looks good. It's supposed to be like that with the edges. That's what I meant by doing the grunge kind of bleached edges at the top there. because I wanted it to, I didn't want it to be that straight, harsh line. So it looks good. Let's go ahead and take it off. Oh my goodness, so my phone actually ran out of space and I had to delete some stuff. Gotta get that cleared out. So what I was saying before it said I'm out of space is the background on this tumbler is, or on this water bottle, is by Melissa Miller. I think it's called Oil Can Splash or Splatter or something like that. Once again, I will link her Etsy shop in the description below. And then what I did is I lightened it. So her background actually is a lot darker than this. I just lightened the opacity a little bit because I wanted the Point S logo and the truck to stand out a little bit more. So this is my husband's truck. He is doing what is called a stoppie in his tough truck or pro stadium truck. He did a little bit of freestyle after his race this past weekend, and that was one of the tricks that he pulled off. So it was, then I did a little cartoonized version, kind of made it like more of a graphic rather than a picture. So that turned out pretty awesome. And then Point S is one of his sponsors. So we're actually giving this to the manager of the local store here who sponsors him with some parts and tires and stuff like that. So shout out to Point S Tire and Auto Service in Bend, Oregon. Shout out to Go for Broke Off-Road, which is my husband's race team. And of course, shout out to PNW Blanks for this awesome press and for the water bottles. So make sure to check out the website this weekend and check out the different water bottles. We have the 18 ounce and the 32 ounce in stock now. Test went well, so I feel confident that I could post these. You guys will go buy them, make your own creations. Make sure to share in the group what your creations are, and also make sure to go ahead and order. We actually do have the pink PNW Sublimation Presses in stock, ready to ship. Or if you want to wait a little while, we have 2 additional colors that just came out. We have a basically an OD tan and green press. So it's OD green here, OD tan on the handles, and it's kind of our military version that we're calling Big Sarge. And then we have a shimmery, really pretty greenish or bluish green color. It's not really teal, it's not turquoise, it's just kind of its own color. So because of its own color, and it's shimmery also. So because it's its own color, we decided to give it its own name. So that is our Sasquatch model because of the PNW. So PNW Blanks and Sublimation. Make sure to go ahead and share with your friends with this video and all of our content. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new content. I apologize that it's been so long for some new content. It's been busy. We're ramping up for the holidays and hopefully coming at you with some new and exciting things. So if you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/PNW Blanks, and I will link everything I talked about in the description below. Have a great night. Oops, one quick thing that I said I was going to do, and I forgot. So we're going to measure the circumference here. I have my little handy-dandy tape measure. Let's see if we can kind of balance that in there so we can measure the circumference, and just that way you kind of know this is the maximum that the press will do with this attachment. I mean, I wouldn't go any larger than this. So this is about a little over 11 1/4. Oops. So a little over 11 1/4. So I would say you could probably go up to 12. If you have anything over 12 inches, you might have a little bit of a hard time actually getting this to close because you would have it all the way loosened. I would say 12 is probably the max that you want to go in diameter. for this press or for this attachment. We do have larger, wider circumference attachments that fit in the press. And so if you had anything wider than that, which I'm just trying to think of what would be wider, because I believe this is only 10 something. Let's check this one out. So once again, this is our 22-ounce wide tumbler. And even this is only, right, we did better this way. I'm trying to balance it kind of. So this is 11. So this is slightly smaller around than this guy, which you can see that it's like barely bigger. So like I said, I would go no larger than 12 using this attachment with the PNW Sublimation Press. I don't know if there's anything bigger than a 32-ounce water bottle around. If you know something, share in the comments, because I'm curious now what kind of cups would be bigger than that. So make sure to share that in the comments below. All right. Again, have a great night.